Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co chart of the day. And firstly with the Euro US dollar, and here we see a black body candle forming today. It suggests that the sellers have found net momentum where the buyers were attempting to change that momentum and took control of the market on the for the close of the previous session. It did suggest that there was an opportunity here for the market to trade above the Tenkan indicator, which had been holding as resistance. We did probe above there today, but the market has failed to close above there. So once again, the Tenkan holding is an important area of resistance. We have been testing to there or above there for the past 4 days now and being rejected to the downside. So it does suggest we're not seeing a lot of strength from the buyers in the short-term time frame. Having said that, however, we do have a bull market in the longer-term time frame by trading above the cloud, and in the medium-term time frame by trading above the Kijun-sen indicator, and that is supported by the Chica span. So still some bullishness in the longer-term time frames. We are seeing a minor retracement at the moment. Now, we are getting very close to the Kijun-sen indicator. For today's trading, it trades around 116.49, and we will be looking for any potential bearish close down below that Kijun-sen, which would be perhaps an important change of sentiment in the medium-term time frame. And a bearish close below there with some strong follow-through could see the market testing down to the Ichimoku cloud. Importantly, into the next month, the cloud does move significantly higher. So the opportunity here for the market to retrace is now. And the urgency is probably the greatest over the next few days than it will be for the entire next month. And that's because of the depth away from the cloud. And as we move into the month, and especially over the next week or two, the cloud does move higher, and the urgency to find equilibrium, as suggested by the cloud in the longer term time frame, will not be as great. Now, in terms of this candle here today, if we look at the character of this candle, look at the long shadow here, and look at this series of candles as we've been testing down through this area down around 117.50, and today we've got down to about 117.14 or so, and constantly being rejected to the upside from these shadows. The sellers constantly losing commitment. So still not convinced that we are seeing any strength from the sellers here. The sellers today have failed to close with control by closing around the midpoint level. And all of these candles, we've never seen any strong negative candle here, even though we've seen some black body candles. By the same token, we're not seeing a lot of strength from the buyers either. So we've got a little bit of a standoff going on at the moment with the Euro US dollar. Now, just looking at support, and this previous swing high around 116.80 level, previous area of days gone past, has seen support in recent times, and over the last 3 days, support coming in around that level. So that is an important level, and as mentioned as well, the Kijun-sen trading just below there as an important level too. And just looking to the pitchfork technique, the major one, looking at the second time frame swings, and here we saw today for the second day the lower pitchfork line here, that's that line there, holding as resistance, and the market tested above there, and we've seen rejection from there today. If we look forward to the next day's trading, that is this candle it is developing, the Kijun-sen coincides with the lower warning line at roughly around that 116.50 level. So it does strengthen the potential support down around that level if the market does trade to there. If we see any attempted price appreciation, we do need to continue to monitor the lower pitchfork line here, which will be around the 118 level as an important area of resistance. And just using the minor pitchfork technique here, and here we see again today the lower pitchfork level coming in as support, and at the moment in this new session we are seeing the median line between the upper and lower lines holding as resistance. For today also the internal line holding as resistance for that candle there above the Tenkan indicator. Now, it does suggest that if we look down to the lower pitchfork line, coincides with the Kijun-sen. So we've got two pitchfork techniques and the Kijun-sen coming in at that level as potential areas of support. So it suggests that it will be an important area. It is likely to be a very strong area of support. but if we do break out to the downside through there and in a bearish manner, we could see the trend develop further to the downside. It will suggest quite some strength from the sellers if the market can close down through that level, and especially in a bearish manner. Now we'll just look at the trend here in the second term time frame, and we have a series of lower peaks and lower troughs established here. Here we have a peak, trough, lower peak, lower trough as we've taken out this area. So establishment of that second time frame downtrend, although we're still not down below the Kijun-sen, but very close to it. Importantly, we haven't closed down below there, so we're not seeing a lot of strength moving into the closing of these sessions. So I'd like to see the market close down through there in a bearish manner if we are going to see any further downside. And just looking at the bands here with the Euro US dollar, and here we do look as though we may be beginning a transition into a downtrending phase, although we shouldn't preempt the market. But previously we had this strong bullish tone in the market, trading above the upper band, then trading within the bands, finding resistance, then that change of character there, then extending down into the lower band, finding support around that lower band. And there is a likely scenario that could play out with a bearish breakout down through the lower band. We want to see strong follow through and some swing lows taken out, and probably the closest would be the lows down here around the 116 level or around the 115.83. But the market is being set up for some trending activity. We do have a squeeze going on, so this sideways movement and this retracement of that previous significant uptrend, and it does mean we could eventually transition into a stronger downtrending phase. But at the moment we haven't met the criteria yet. This market could extend through to the upside here as well.